What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader, True Trading Group. August 20th, marijuana stocks are on fire. Okay, today was another slow day in the overall markets. You know, the end of summer kind of feel is still here. I expect the same type of action for the next couple of weeks, but man, was there phenomenal action in the marijuana sector today. These mid-cap marijuana stocks, TLRY, Canopy Growth, Kronos, I mean, they're just, so CRON, CGC, TLRY, huge moves today, tremendous follow-through. I'm still focusing on, you know, these more mid-cap type plays. I made a trade today in CMCM for a nice win. I took a loss on EL, so I was 1 for 2 today. I'm going to go over those trades with you. But before I get into that, I want to go over a trade in TLRY, TLRY, that talks of kind of a little bit about these marijuana stocks. Guys, ever since Constellation Brands invested $4 billion into Canopy Growth, CGC, okay, the marijuana sector has been going crazy. So here's the gap up day on that news, and you can see this follow through to all-time highs today on Canopy Growth. Okay, that was followed up with big moves in some of the other marijuana stocks. TLRY, new all-time high from that previous $34 high after the IPO. So another new high. Look at these moves from 26 bucks all the way up to $37 today. 26 bucks last week, all the way up to $37 today. CRON, okay, another one, nice big strong move here today. This stock over the last couple of days from $6 up to $7.50. So you're getting really good action in the marijuana sector on the back of that news, and you're getting some real good follow through and some real good continuation. I wasn't really focusing on these marijuana stocks in the morning. And I should have been paying a little bit more attention to them. I was more focused on CMCM and just kind of picking my spots a little bit. But there was an amazing setup on TLRY that I'm going to go over with you. I call this setup a double bottom gap up. It's just a term that I've come up with for this exact setup. And this is an excellent example of that setup. Although I did not trade it, I still want to go over this setup with you because it's a great setup. It's a good example of this pattern. And it's one of my favorite patterns, not my favorite, but one of my favorite patterns. And I teach this to all of our members and True Trading Group to look for this on a daily basis. And this is a really good example. It just happens to be one that I missed today. So let's get to it. Just because I missed the trade does not mean we can't learn from it. And there's not a really good example and lesson to be learned. So here, let's zoom in on TLRY. The double bottom gap up, guys. You can see we gapped up, strong push right off the opening bell, and we put in the initial morning low. Okay, there's your initial morning low. We gapped up and surged higher. We then pulled all the way back down to retest that low right here. And the thing I want you to notice is we pulled all the way down, tested that low, and the trade line, this yellow line, okay, I use that, that's my 9 EMA. Okay, came up into play and found an area, the stock found an area of support and puts in this big strong tail. You can see then this trade line starts to hold support, and we pull down one more time to test that initial morning low, and bang, we put in another strong tail. So there was real buying and support down here around this initial morning low, and this is kind of what I call that double bottom gap up. What I mean by double bottom is the initial morning low gets tested and it holds. Okay, and then something else happens that triggers a stock, and then you get the continuation, you get the break through the initial morning high right there. Okay, there would be your high. Okay, so that's your high of the day. And you can see that after we held that double, I call it double bottom, but this time it was actually a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3 times we held that low. And really the play here is this trade line. So you can see the trade line came in here and held the stock up above that low. And then you got a trade line VWAP crossover right there where the trade line crossed over VWAP. There's 2 ways you could have played this trade. Okay, your absolute ideal scenario, the ideal execution is a tier 1 position anywhere in this area. Your stop loss would be just below the low of the day. Okay, and then you can add to the position after you got the trade line VWAP crossover. So you would add to the position somewhere in here. Okay, that's the absolute ideal scenario. Okay, so tier 1 right in here, stop loss right below the low of the day, very small risk. Okay, the other way, if you missed that tier 1 entry, your second way to play this stock would be we popped above VWAP. VWAP was showing you that was previously an area of resistance right here. So here's your VWAP resistance, tail, 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 okay? We popped above it after we held the initial morning low, gave that double bottom gap up. We popped above VWAP. And now here comes your trade line VWAP crossover. Here would be your next opportunity to buy this stock. Okay, your stop loss in this scenario, if you want to play things a little bit more conservative, would be just below VWAP, because VWAP had previously showed you that it was an area of resistance right here. So let's say your stop loss on this would be maybe around 31.85. Okay, if you got long, let's say around 32.15, 32.20. Okay. So slightly more risk on that entry if you missed the tier 1 entry, but still nonetheless a great entry point. And you can see once you got that trade line VWAP crossover, right there's your trade line crossing over VWAP. You saw it was coupled with excellent volume, and the stock just continued to push itself higher up to new highs on really great volume. Trade line held support the whole way up, and you could have caught a real nice move from this $32 area all the way up to 34. Okay, would have been a really, really, really great trade. It was a real clean double bottom gap up pattern, guys. You can see that initial morning low held. The trade line came into play. Trade line pushes the stock back above VWAP. Here's your trade line VWAP crossover, and the stock pushes higher. Okay, and you can see that we got excellent continuation on these marijuana plays as this stock went all the way up to 37.50 today. Huge move. Okay, it was a great setup, and I missed the pattern because I was trading CMCM. Okay, but I still wanted to go over it because it's a great lesson, and we can, I want you guys to be able to recognize that pattern and recognize that setup the next time that you see it. Now let's get into CMCM, my trade. Okay, let's zoom this in. CMCM, let's go to the daily chart first. I need to add a moving average on here for you, because I do not have my 50-day on here. So let me just add this real quick, guys. Bear with me. Here we go. So here's your 50-day moving averages, blue line on my screen. We gapped above it, and I was talking about to our members in chat and pre-market, guys, watch us see if this 50-day moving average holds support. If it does, I think this CMCM's got room up to 11 or 11.50. Well, high of the day was 11.33, so right dead smack in the middle. And the low of the day is 9.72. And guess what, guys? That 50-day moving average is 9.71. So a picture-perfect trade here on CMCM right from the watch list this morning, right from the pre-market game plan, and it was a beauty. Okay, so let's get to the 3-minute chart. Intraday, we gapped up. We put in a high of $10 on the first candle on the opening bell, and we pulled all the way down to the low of the day, which is 972. Like I said, the 50-day moving average was 971. As soon as we touched 972, the stock immediately shot back up and broke through that initial high and surged all the way up to 1029 on great opening bell volume. Okay, right there, that action told me this stock is really strong. Now, Mike, I'm going to look for an entry point. So what I did, I drew my Fibonacci retracement level from the low to the high, and I noticed that VWAP was converging on the 23.6 Fibonacci level right here. This is where I jumped in long, guys, at $10.10, right in here. Okay, I'll take you guys to my trade announcements. Here we are at 938 long, CMCM 1010, stop loss 995. Tiny risk, was risking 15 cents, guys, long at 1010. That's a great entry. Okay, risking just below VWAP, just below the 23.6 Fibonacci level. And you can see minutes after my entry, we shot through the high of the day. I took some profit off the table. We then pulled back in, and you can see that the 23.6 Fibonacci level held support again. Okay, we have the 23.6 Fibonacci level to thank for this trade because it held CMCM up long enough. VWAP didn't. You can see it tailed through VWAP 3 times. Okay, but every time that 23.6 Fibonacci level held, and that gave the trade line enough time to catch up. And as soon as the trade line caught up to the 23.6, it pushed the stock straight through the high of the day, again on a real nice strong volume bar, actually the heaviest volume bar of the morning. And then right here, bang, trade line VWAP crossover, and ever since that crossover, you can see the trade line holding support as a stock continued to climb up to a new high of 1082. Okay, I took some profit off right here at 1055. Well, my first take profit, guys, was right here. Okay, here's my entry. First take profit, second take profit, and my final take profit was at 1090 right there. Okay, so here's my entry, first take profit, second take profit, final take profit. Taking my trade announcements, here we go. Took some profits, 1036, took the bulk of my position at 1055, final take profit at 12:16 p.m., 1090. Okay, so long at 1010, final take profit 1090. It was a nice little trade. It wasn't a home run by any means. It was a nice little single, double, like a double. I had some pretty decent size. The liquidity was great. Stock, I had very low risk. 1010 risking down to 995. I was able to get a nice size position. I caught a nice trade. And it gave me follow through and it gave me continuation like the mid cap stocks have been giving me. Okay, like you saw in the marijuana stocks. So I decided to stay away from all the small caps today. Last week, there was like 2 or 3 days where, I got suckered into, one small cap trade, and each time it was just for a losing trade. SSC got a lot of traders excited this morning with this big gap up on news of this huge contract. It gapped up and just sold off. I mean, total crap today, again, out of these small cap stocks, guys. Again, no follow through, no continuation. But then you look at a stock like TLRY and you say, oh man, look at that, just ran the whole day. Look at CGC, Canopy Growth, ran the whole day. CMCM ran the whole day. Okay, you're getting real continuation and follow through in those mid caps still. That's why I focused on CMCM. I missed TLRY, but still made a really good trade on CMCM. Okay, my focus remains on these mid cap names, guys. Okay, we'll see what happens with these marijuana stocks. They continue to heat up. August is usually a slow time for the marijuana plays. Over the last 4 years, historically, the marijuana sector as a whole has really sold off heavy at the end of the summer, and then they rally back in the fall. This news of Constellation Brands investing $4 billion into Canopy Growth obviously has woken up the marijuana sector. Okay, I do expect another deal with some type of beverage company with another marijuana company soon. The reason for that is Constellation Brands has just taken a major stake and has placed a major bet in the marijuana sector. I highly doubt that all of their competitors are going to sit back with their hands crossed and let them swallow up the market share of this potential new industry. Okay, with maybe it's hemp infused beverages, CBD infused beverages, or whatever, who knows, whatever the future may hold for the beverage industry in relation to marijuana, hemp, CBDs. There's a lot of potential there. And I don't think that you're just going to see Constellation Brands competitors just sit back and let them just swallow and take over that entire market. So I think we'll see another move relatively soon, over the next month or two, maybe a little bit more. Okay, and I think that's going to bring further legitimacy and further institutional interest into the marijuana sector. I do expect a really great fall for the marijuana sector. We'll see if I'm right. We're seeing early signs of that strength happening now towards the end of August. We'll see if that continues into the fall. All right, so definitely going to keep an eye on these marijuana stocks. They've been trading great, a lot of good action. I'm definitely going to have my eyes on them tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. All right, great stuff, guys. I'll see you in chat tomorrow. Take care.